Hey guys, we are back again today to do a little mini book haul. I know recently I've said I would like to stop buying books this year. Did I say that though? I don't think I said that. Recently I've said that I'd like to prioritize using the library if there's a book that I want to buy. I'd like to use the library more, limit my books buying and spending. And I have done a great job with that, okay? I will say for the last couple of months, #1 library user right here, #1. Recently I've bought a couple of books and I wanted to share them with you because that's what this channel is about, you know? So I've added a couple of books to the collection. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books here, and we will start with one that I bought because it's what instigated this whole book buying situation, because this book, Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro, is my favorite book that I've read so far this year. Absolutely my favorite book. I read it in January, loved it. The copy that I had got destroyed because a bunch of water spilled all over the floor and it was soaking in the water for a long time. So it got completely destroyed. Funny enough, it was the only book of mine that got destroyed. But again, it was my favorite book of the year and I was sad and I needed a new copy, you know? So I was like, let's go to the bookstore. So I did. And I got this, and I got a couple of other things. So that's the first book that I'll haul there. The rest of them are right here. Sula by Toni Morrison. Now I have 2 other Toni Morrison books and I have yet to read either of them. I have The Bluest Eye and I have Beloved. I don't know why I haven't read them yet. I don't know. This year, it's on my 2024 TBR to read a Toni Morrison. I don't care. I really don't care which one. I just want to read something by her because I've never read anything by her. I feel like that's a crime, you know? It's a crime. I saw someone online talking about short classics you can read in a day, and this I think is her shortest, and I'm like, great, I'll buy Sula. So that's honestly why I bought this. And this is basically about 2 girls who grow up to become women, and they were best friends growing up, and they became something worse than enemies, and it's about their lives coming together and their community. That's what I know. I've heard great things about Toni Morrison. I don't know, how do you say that about Toni Morrison? I've heard great things. I've heard great things about Toni Morrison. Maybe I'll give her a try. No, I think she's one of the greatest writers. I think the consensus is she's one of the greatest writers that has ever lived, so I need to read some of her, I need to read her books, you know? It Lasts Forever and Then It's Over by Anne Markin, which is something that I bought because I've heard a couple people talk about it online, a couple people talk about it on TikTok, and say that this is their favorite book that they've read so far this year. I love that it's short, honestly, really short, really impactful, meaningful books. I'm gonna want to read them, you know? Like, that's just kind of like my catnip. And this, I believe, is about a girl who's already passed on and she's living in a kind of purgatory in this hotel. I think she's like living in a hotel or something like that, but she's in the afterlife and she doesn't remember her life at all, but little things start to come to her in snippets and she's just thinking about life and death. Let's read the first sentence of these books together. Oh, I love this quote at the beginning by Judith Butler. It says, "Without you, that indefinite, promiscuous, and expansive pronoun, we are wrecked and we fall." I lost my left arm today. It came off clean at the shoulder. Those are the first 2 sentences. Let's read the first sentence of Sula. "In that place where they tore the nightshade and blackberry patches from their roots to make room for the Medallion City golf course, there was once a neighborhood." And then we have Permafrost by Eva Baltazar, which is translated by Julia Sanchez, probably from the Spanish. I believe she translates Spanish. This I bought because I read Boulder by Eva Baltazar last year because it was listed for the Booker International Prize. I really liked Boulder. It didn't become my favorite book of all time, but that is seriously one of the most lyrically beautiful books that I've ever read. Another super short, impactful read that was about a female-female couple. One of them wanted to have a baby. The other one did not want to have babies, so one of them went through IVF, became pregnant, and it's about their relationship when one person wants to have a baby or becomes pregnant, and how that kind of leaves, it changes your relationship. It's a huge change, and I just thought it was beautiful, absolutely stunning. And I've heard this book is one of the best depictions of depression. That is a buzzword. That is a buzzword for me, unfortunately, you know? That's funny to say that, but yeah, I want to read that. So yes, Permafrost's no bullshit lesbian narrator is an uninhibited lover and a wickedly funny observer of modern life. Desperate to get out of Barcelona, she goes to Brussels because a city whose symbol is a little boy pissing was a city I knew I would like. As an au pair in Scotland, she develops a hatred for the color green, and everywhere she goes, she tries to break out of the roles set for her by family and society, chasing escape wherever it can be found. Yeah, sounds good. Again, I heard it was a great depiction of depression. So the first sentence, it's nice up here. That's the first sentence, but it's nice up here, finally. That's the thing about heights, 100 meters of vertical glass. The quote at the beginning of this book is by Thomas Bernhard from The Loser. It's, "To be born is to be unhappy," he said, "and as long as we live, we produce this unhappiness. We reproduce this unhappiness." And then we have On the Road by Jack Kerouac. Yes, I finally got there. Which I've actually already read, but I listened to it on audiobook in the year of 2020. And I needed to own this physically, and I need to reread this actually physically. So I bought it. This is one of the books that I've read that I've thought about so much since I've read it. And I'm surprised that I thought about it so much since I've read it, because I think, if I recall correctly, at the time of listening to it, I was like, this guy's kind of annoying. This is such a dude book, you know? Which is such a terrible... Whatever that means. I'm just telling you that's what I thought at the time, okay? As time passed, it's something that I've used to think about the concept of progress, the concept of idealization, the concept of the American dream, of going west, and the difference between East and West, and just about the landscape of America and the United States, which is where this is set, and it's about our main character on a road trip, telling the story of two dudes going on a road trip, hitchhiking, basically across the United States, meeting people, having relationships, thinking about life. So yeah, that's On the Road. The first sentence is, "I first met Dean not long after my wife and I split up." And then we have a book that I cannot believe. Okay, I do own this book already, but in a different edition. And I was looking at my Shakespeare collection, as one does. I feel like that's such a pretentious thing to say. I was looking at my Shakespeare collection. Anyway, no, I was looking at my Shakespeare collection for some reason, and I didn't have this in the edition that I like, so I wanted it, and I got it. It's Hamlet in the Pelican Shakespeare editions. I just really like them. I think they're cute. They're a great size. A big fan. The quote on the back is, "To be or not to be?" You know, that's the question. That is the question. Yeah, I would really love to reread this. I read it in high school. I don't think I actually read it. But I was present for the discussions of it. You know, I read little bits and pieces. They played it out loud. I've seen adaptations of it performed, but no, I need to read it. I know that there's so much philosophy steeped in the pages of this play, and that is why I would like to read it, mark it up, slowly move through it, I think is a goal of mine. But yeah, I can't really read first sentence, but the first line in this book is, "Who's there?" I imagine that's how it's said. But yeah, who's there? Who is there? That is the second question, okay? Last but not least, we have, and this is such a random book too, but we have I think this is an epic poem. I think this is an epic poem, but I cannot pronounce this dude's name. Gotha? I think that's the best I've gotten it. Goethe's Faust. This is translated by Walter Kaufmann from the German. I love Goethe, even though it's hard for me to pronounce his name. The Sorrows of Young Werther is one of my favorite books of absolutely all time. And this is basically a book about selling your soul to the devil. Is that what it's about? I've just heard this so many times. I've heard so many references to Goethe's Faust. I saw it and I felt like it was time to own it. I believe Mephistopheles comes from this. Am I right or am I wrong? Oh man, and we got a long ass dedication. This edition's pretty cool. Not that I read German at all, but there's German on one side and the English translation on the other. Prelude in the theater. You too, that often stood by me. Okay, that's the prelude in the theater. That's a long prelude in the theater. Dedication. Let's read the first sentence of the dedication. You come back, wavering shapes out of the past, in which you first appeared to clouded eyes. Should I attempt this time, I'm still going. Should I attempt this time to hold you fast? Does this old dream still thrill a heart so wise? You crowd, you press, have then your way at last. I think this is gonna be really beautiful. Love Goethe. Love Goethe so much. But yeah, can't wait. I'm glad I own it, building my Goethe collection. It's just fun to say his name, even though I'm not probably saying it right. That's my mini book haul. Thank you so much for watching. Have you read any of these books? Please tell me your thoughts. Specifically, have you read this? I bet you some people watching this have definitely read this. Please give me all of your facts, wisdom, and knowledge about this specific book, because I just have the vague understanding of it being written by one of my favorite classic authors, and the fact that I believe it is a story about selling your soul to the devil, or like making poor decisions to try to make the right decisions. I'm not exactly sure, but that's why I bought it. So tell me what you know. Tell me what you know, what you really, really know. That's my haul. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.